Hello everyone. Today we are going to be going over how to make media in our lab. Media, as we store it, is a dehydrated powder that is measured out and then added with water and mixed and boiled to create the media itself. Remember, a media is a growth substrate or broth in which we grow our algae and bacteria. In this case, our TA is measuring out some Eosin methylene blue, and you will see later in the video some Hektoen Enteric Agar. In this case, the amount is being measured out using a spoon. You always want to use some kind of tool, either a spoon or spatula, and you never want to free pour out. Free pouring out can result in mismeasuring, as well as excessive amounts of media on the benchtop area. Once you're done measuring out your media, you will want to add that media to your flask. Once you've added your media to the flask, you can then move to adding in water. After adding in your powder, you'll want to go over to one of our sinks. Our sinks do have deionized water piped into them, and you'll want to take a graduated cylinder and measure out the amount of liquid that you need. In our case, we're measuring out 500 milliliters. Once the liquid has been measured into the cylinder, place the cylinder on a stable surface and read the meniscus. After which, you can take it over to your flask and add it to the media. When adding media, be sure to keep your flask at an angle so that you don't spill any water onto the desktop. After you've added in your measured out water, you will want to also add in a stir bar. A stir bar is a magnet that we use in our labs. You put them inside the flask, and then as the flask boils on the hot plate, the stir bar mixes the powder. Angle the stir bar down the side of the flask so that you don't damage the flask or the stir bar. You are then going to want to place a piece of tin foil on the top of your flask to prevent spilling during the spinning process. The mixing process can then begin. At this point that we have shifted to Hektoen, and as you can see, the Hektoen starts off as a brown color, and in the next few videos you will also see that it turns into a dark green color as well as the powder is mixed into the flask. You will want to hold on to this and keep doing this until such a time as the media starts to boil. We will see coming up in a few moments that a boil is when those central bubbles make their way from the center to the edge. This is when we know that the mixing phase is almost done. You will then want to remove this from the hot plate and put it onto a benchtop or other cool surface to prevent an overboil. Be sure to use hot gloves, which are insulated gloves meant to prevent burning, whenever you transfer flasks from one area to the next. It is at this point, after transfer, that autoclaving or plating can occur.